Welcome back, everybody. Back here with Istaroon doing some more shoutcasting of our Community Wars tournament. And this match is Moominpeter versus Hacker. So, let's jump straight into it then, shall we?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Cool, so we get to see that cool avatar again. So, he's up against Double Varroa, one Overseers. How do you think he's going to fare against this one?
That was an interesting command zone with the two Warp Swarmers. It gives you a lot of early game board control, especially against Rush, which is what Moominpeter is bringing.
Yes, indeed. Well, not necessarily. He could be more pull back and blow your face off in one turn deck as well, because that could work out quite well.
Yeah, but when you're going with Flame Dawn, you're usually going fast. You don't normally pick a one Flame Dawn Purity for its support potential.
No, not really.
I mean, Stumble is great, Lightning Bolt's better.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like he's gone double Overseers, one Flame Dawn this time with the Banish.
Death Worshipper. That's interesting.
Well, I suppose it works.
That's worth... Oh, it might actually be worth the Banish.
Yeah, you kind of
want to get nasty really fast.
Oh yeah, you take them out as early as you possibly can, especially with this deck.
Yes, and drawing that Heaven's Assistance in his hand, he knows he's going to have a lot of stuff out.
He hasn't drawn those in previous games. He has not drawn those in previous games, so whether he put them in or took them out, or he's using a slightly different deck, because we haven't seen no precautionary measures from Moomin either. That's been something that I was surprised not to see at any point.
One of the other decks, one of the other matches when we got a longer look at what his deck was, I did not remember seeing it. Oh, that's because he was gearing up for doing double Flame Down Purity, though, so that's why he didn't have any.
Yeah, of course. But in the first match, he did have double Purity Overseers, and yeah.
Does he play out one of the Heaven's Assistants now, or does he wait? Because he's only going to get 3 things unless Hacker plays more. It's not
worth it now. But the Martyr Golem is worth it.
Martyr Golem comes out.
And this is the Death Ray, or a Hubris. So, not the best, but still works.
He does have to worry about the possibility of mass death, too. That's something that we haven't seen Moominpeter fight before.
Yeah, I mean, like, the mass death phenomenon, I think it's kind of seems to have died down a bit, like... For a long time, it was like, oh,
it's got to be in the back of your mind, but you can't play as if it's coming out every turn.
Yeah, I think it's because the recent decks and the recent meta have been moving a little bit away from Triple Varroa and more towards kind of mill and other types of stall deck.
Though not a lot of that in this tournament, or even in all honesty, in the gold tournament. There was a little bit, but
I think there was one or two.
It was more focused on. Yeah, it was more focused on. Creature control. Yeah. A lot of Overseers.
Mm-hmm. But he's just played a Consecrated Militia. Is that legitimately in his deck, or was that from a Control Temple?
I have...
Oh, what do you call it?
He didn't play an Anomaly. I have seen some stuff that's very interesting out of... I think it was Critical had a deck that was similar to this.
Ooh. Where
there were a lot of conscripted militias that came out. Like, he had his command zone, and then a lot more of it was conscripted militias. Those start to get scary pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, back in the day, when conscripted militia Hakeem decks were a thing, and they were scary. They were so scary. It's 40 conscripted militia and, like, 3 Hakeems. And it was glorious.
You can dump them all out into your graveyard and pull them back.
Yep. I think all it was just 3 raised deads, 3 Hakeems in the deck, 1 in command.
There should be some Fill the Graves in there too. I actually fought Critical when he was playing one of those Old Stars sleeper decks that were just conscripted militias. It was interesting. Unfortunately, I got a Killer Rack out and I killed a couple of them, and then it was a conscripted militia fight for like 4 or 5 turns. But I eventually lost out because he popped Hakeem and like 20 of the jerks came out, and I just couldn't stop it.
This might end up as a draw. Look what's happening here.
19-19.
He's still got that Martyr Golem.
The difference is 3 morale right now.
I can't believe he's managed to rushing him down this quick as a double Varroa deck.
Well,
using
he's on two
conscripted
heavens
militias
assistants.
and warp swarmers to rush someone. That's glorious.
Yeah, even a heat wave won't save him right now because most of it is 4/4s because of Luca.
A double heat
Oh,
wave.
heat wave wouldn't save him at all because he's got the marker golem
Yeah,
out there.
exactly. So that
Would eat all
he'd
of
have
it.
to double heat wave to actually do some.
Now
he does have
warp swarmers are going to do some serious work.
Yeah, but the marker golem's going to at least can soak up one of them, and the other one's going to do one damage. So it's not going to be too much, to be honest.
He did pump out that marker golem. He wants that marker golem to live.
But he put all the flyers out instead. So there we go. That's it. Done.
Done. GG.
Wow. Talk about a quick match. Jesus Christ.
That was fast.
Didn't even keep up.
Moominpeter, not messing around.
No. He's like, I hate Varor. Let's bash down this Varor. So yeah, that was a entertaining, exciting match. Jesus. I like the fact that they were both rushing though. I really like the fact.
You don't see a lot of Aurora Rush.
You don't see like any Varor rush really. Especially with conscripted militias. I love the fact that he's playing.
So he did have one precautionary measures, and he just took it out.
Yeah. And replaced it with a Soldier of Solace, which I suppose in this situation kind of makes a bit of sense.
He's taking out. That's really weird when he knows he's facing down double Varor to take out two Paladins of the Flame Dawn. I think clearly shows he's not worried about mass death.
No. Yeah, I wonder what he's going to put in there. He's got a few options, I guess, but still,
does he want to throw Consecrates in there in case of Varoria?
Oh, Zealous Protectors. They're good early on, I suppose. Yeah. He's like, okay, I don't want those.
Those will deal with the Warp Stormers pretty well, because you're not gonna poke them down with Swarmer damage for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if Hacker's gonna keep with the militia, or if he's gonna swap it out, because he has the option to just completely abandon that strategy. And
of course, yeah. I want to see more of the militia.
Right commander's wrong deck.
Oh. So maybe it wasn't next level tactic, maybe it was just a genuine mistake with the militias.
Well, now if Hacker had noticed he picked the wrong deck, what he should have done was just immediately say, "Hey, sorry, I picked the wrong deck." And there is provisions in the rules if you accidentally pick the wrong deck to pull a new one. That's proper, but
Moominpeter's afraid of doing the same thing. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Communication with your opponent is key, because pretty much everyone in this game is a good guy. Or a good guy, as the case may be.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh well, unfortunate mishap that he decided to go with.
I wonder if that was a bit of the pressure from the tournament.
Potentially. Tournaments are very a lot of pressure.
It doesn't, especially those early rounds, and this is a round 2 of the losers matches. So this is the Hacker's third set of games, I think.
And
it can really get to you just in those first few games.
Yeah, of course. But no, that he says he had 3 different variations, and that was one of his variations. So it was one of his legitimate decks. So it wasn't a mistake.
A lot of the people who went deep in this tournament really prepared a lot of deck styles.
But then again, the game who won it, in the end, he said he only had to switch up a few cards, and the deck stayed the same. So he only switched up a few cards for a couple of people, and that was it. The rest of the time, he just went ham.
He did say that he felt it was important, the swaps that he made, when I was looking over some of the feedback he gave. Being able to make those swaps in between was very, very useful, and he did do a lot of looking at his opponent's command zones before he went into his decks. And I think that was a big advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Right, here we go again. So he has a pretty nice starting hand for Varor, actually. The 2 Harahels isn't too good, but the Banish is very nice.
And he does have, as opposed to something like a Flame Dawn Aspirant, he does have the 4/4s. Oh, and it's gone. That is the nice thing, though. At least he got out 3 damage from that Torchbearer. Why didn't he play the Commando? You should have stabbed something at least. I guess he just really wants to save it.
He hasn't got anything to stab. He can't stab the command zone, and there wasn't anything in the support zone, so he couldn't have stabbed anything. but you want to stop that before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, it's gonna be unless he plays out one of the warp swarmers, he won't take damage from it either.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. That's lucky.
Yeah, and now he's got the banish again. Is he gonna get rid of the worshipper?
I would, because he has. Well, he's about to have 5 things on the field that are only 2 health.
Yeah.
And unless he gets rid of that, all he has to do is that one warp swarmer is going to make that Death Worshipper a 12/12. Yeah, that's not good.
Ow, that's really bad, actually. Boom.
Oof. Oh, and...
Ooh. But it's a 6/6 already, so we can still take it out with the banish.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Angel of Virtue managed to ascend. Otherwise, that thing would have been huge.
Oh, God,
he would have had +8/+8 on top of that.
Nom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's the banish going down. He has had enough of that.
Indeed. He's got a lot of pressure, though. He's got a lot of pressure right now. Ooh, the heat wave.
Heat wave,
ouch.
That would have been bad. Oh, man.
But still, he's still got board presence over Hacker. Although Hacker has more control. So, it could still swing either way. Hacker does have
more control, but I think Hacker's in a bit of trouble. I think he was counting on that Death Worshipper to get some work done that turn. He was expecting to lose it, but he was expecting to clear the board as well of any non-flyers.
I mean, Death Worshippers are alright. But, like, usually in high-level play they don't turn up that much. Because they are so easily taken out, and most people take them out really early on and have means to do so. If you don't, then they get huge, which does happen, more so in draft than anything else.
You can see that Moominpeter in the back of his mind is, what if he mass deaths, because he's holding back.
Yeah. I'd always do the same thing. You just put half your stuff out, and then you've always got half as a backup. So, yeah, he's got just irking on the mass death, but there we go. It's another Death Worshipper. Hacker likes his Death Worshippers. Oh, the Desolation.
Ooh, that's a good Desolation.
Yes. But then he's ticking down his health. Hacker hasn't touched Moominpeter's health yet. But Hacker's down to half. So it could go... It still could swing either way. Like as you said, if he gets a good mass death, if he gets another Desolation off.
I'm a little confused why Hacker chose to go 1 Purity Overseers on top of the 2 Purity Varor. Those Death Worshippers are getting pretty big pretty fast. The problem is still no flight. No flight coming out.
That's a good point.
I mean, those things can be as big as they want, almost, but unless Hacker pulls something out to stop those flyers, he's dead in 3 turns, if my math's correct.
Yeah, indeed. But then he could start attacking him and putting some pressure on himself with the worshippers. Block. That's true.
That takes a lot of damage, and Hacker can't... Right now, Hacker can't block. Oh, Summoning Stone. That'll get some fires out.
Yeah, but that's gotta start rolling first.
Yeah, he's getting...
That Harahel. It's just
on it. Yeah.
That Harahel's just done it. And yeah, he could just
I don't
jump
see how Hacker can come back from this one.
Yeah, even if he plays another mass death, his Death Worshipper is going to die, and his board presence is just gone.
Angel of Purity's been pinging him too, so it's hard to pull stuff out of his graveyard, even if he had.
And he just played Guns of Goliath. Isn't his priority? So if he does play a Fireball or anything like that,
he'll lose 2 things if he faces down another Heat Wave. 3 things, but.
Ooh. Demon of Gluttony. Ooh. I hope this match gets interesting. But has he actually got enough damage?
No,
he does?
I think that's
he does,
it.
That's it. Wow.
There it is. That Demon of Gluttony might have been able to change the game, but it just came out a little bit too late.
Well, you can't take out late. It's 9 cost, isn't it? So
yeah.
You have to take it out late. Well, there you go. Moominpeter takes the series. That was a damn quick series. Jesus Christ. Awesome. Well, thanks again for sending in the videos, guys. Really appreciate it. Me and Issaroon both appreciate it. And pretty much, yeah. So, analysis on that match, bro. What do you think overall?
I wish I could have seen more of what Hacker was trying to do there. I think he had some interesting ideas. I think he was expecting to face down a lot of Overseers in this tournament. I think that's why he had the Warp Swarmers there. I think that's why he went with the Death Worshippers, because most people aren't going to want to banish a Death Worshipper.
Yeah.
I think that was sort of what he was hinging on. But at the same time, Death Worshippers are really, really expensive for what they do.
Yes, exactly. 3 cost for a 2/2.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same cost as a Banish. Trading a 3 cost for a 3 cost.
Yeah.
It's not a hard decision to make if you actually sit down and think about it.
Indeed. Alrighty then. So thank you again for Moomin for sending in those matches. The next match in the series will probably be another Moominpeter match versus Insanity. So join us again for that. So from me and Esther, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.